What's happening Facebook? It's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete. To all my treeple out there, my gardeners who are interested in growing their own food at home, I want to say hi to all you guys, and I hope you guys are able to watch and see and hear my live feed right now. I'm here in the garden, and if you guys can see me, please comment down below right now. Jake, I can hear you. Jake, I can see you. The feed looks good. And hit the like button for me, hit the heart button for me, and if you could, hit the share button, because the share button spreads the word about gardening at home and gets the word about gardening out to all of your Facebook friends. My friend Seamus O'Leary is out there. If you guys want to pick up some fruit trees for your garden this coming fall, you got to go see my friend Seamus O'Leary, aka Don Olson, right down there. Ask him all your tree questions, fruit tree questions, and I'm going to hopefully, Seamus, hopefully I'll be out to see you this week. I just got caught today and I wasn't sure if you were free or not because you've been so busy, so I'm pointing right at you, Seamus. Let me know if you're free for a live video this week. How many of you guys out there in Facebook world want me to do a live Facebook video from Seamus O'Leary's garden coming up this week? Let me know in the comments. Guys, I'm here in the garden. I want to talk a little bit about something that's close to my heart, which is planting according to the seasons. So if you guys want to come in and watch me right now for a few minutes, hit the share button, hit the like button. We're going to talk about some fruit trees and some crops that grow very well in the Phoenix area. You guys should grow in your garden. And this is a tricky time of the year for me because it's transitioning right now from summer into fall. And before I started gardening, I never really cared about the seasons changing, other than I love driving my car at night, putting my arm out the window and feeling the nice cool fall air. But now that I've been gardening, whenever it rains or whenever it changes the season and the temperatures get cooler, I just feel so good, because it's the changing of the seasons. The changing of the seasons, that is when gardeners have to get busy. We have to get busy feeding fruit trees, tree food. We got to get busy prepping our raised beds. We got to get busy planting new crops. And here comes the star of the show today. It's Leo, my dinosaur, and he's looking for some food. There's Pepper. Pep, go please, go. You're taking out Leo's, you're outstaging Leo, upstaging Leo here. What's up, Leo? All right, so we're gonna go for a little bit of a walk. One tree that's doing very well for me that I've seen growing all over the place in the Phoenix area is this tree right here, called a Carob Tree. And the Carob Tree is a great one for Phoenix residents. It's an evergreen. It becomes enormous. I first learned about this tree because I went vegan and I started eating carob chips instead of chocolate chips. And carob is basically a legume or a bean that grows on a tree. It tastes kind of chocolatey. This guy was one I planted, and I was positive it was a female carob tree because it had already flowered. So you want to get the female one, not the male one. I know in the past my friend Seamus O'Leary has carried these, and Seamus is the one that showed me how big these guys can get, because he has a humongous, like 50 or 60 footer at his home. So this tree now is getting bigger every year. When I planted it, I was taller than it, and I'm over 6 feet tall, and now it's really tall, like it's probably almost close to 20 feet up there. And eventually this tree will be the treehouse tree in the yard. It's got this big area to grow in. So definitely plant a carob tree, C-A-R-O-B, female fruiting carob. Above, up there, you guys can click on the links. Please click on all the links above. One of them is for seed bank box. If you guys want to plant the same seeds that I'm planting in your garden, and you want to plant amazing seeds that are heirloom, open pollinated seeds that will grow great in your garden, go to seedbankbox.com and join Seed Bank Box. It's just 20 bucks. Try it out for 1 month, 20 bucks. You'll get a huge value of seeds. It's a great company, and the October Seed Bank Box will be amazing. So up there, click on it. My most recent YouTube video is up there, and this weekend I'm doing a garden workshop and garden tour here at the garden. So if you guys want to come meet me in person and you want to come see the garden in person, RSVP to the first link above, the garden tour. We just asked for $10 donation. It's up top there. And we're going to give you 2 hours of information of how to grow and garden successfully here in the Phoenix area. And you get to walk around my, my garden that's here in the city. Okay, Carob tree. Next tree that's very important is this one that's behind me right here, the date palm. You guys have to find yourself some date palms. I cannot say it enough. The date palm, the female fruiting date palm, is the most important tree for Phoenix area residents to grow if you want to grow your own food. The date palm. These guys are China Ranch Black, China Ranch Gold, and this is a Black Sphinx right here. The Black Sphinx date palm is right there. And these guys will begin to fruit in like their 4th to 7th year of life. So I was really fortunate to go on Craigslist and I found a guy who was offering like 10 date palms that were already 4 or 5 years old. And so a couple of mine are already fruiting. And the first one, hey Todd Orama. What's up, Todd Orama? Hey Todd, check this out. The first date palm fruited this year. It's amazing, and we got this bag around it here to protect the dates from the birds because they were starting to peck at it. So this is first year that this date palm fruited. It put its flowers off in the spring, and I got some male pollen, and I pollinated the cluster of female flowers, and then I painstakingly thinned out the cluster, and that was a pain in the ass. I had to thin out every date so that there's only like 1 date per inch. And now, if you guys see, we can pull this off, and we've got some dates underneath here that are ready to eat. This is my first ever homegrown dates. If you guys hit the like button for that, I want to see the hearts and the likes go across the screen right now. Oh, I just dropped it. I just dropped the first date. Give me some love. Guys, this is incredible. Like, I've been vegan. This is my 17th year being vegan. I've always eaten dates. And now you guys can grow them in your garden if you're in the Phoenix area or California or whatever. So these are amazing. Guys, I started gardening here in 2011, and I put all this work in to putting wood chips over here. I put all this work in to putting in the koi pond. I put all this work into planting all these trees, protecting all these trees, nursing all these trees, feeding all these trees, watering all these trees, giving these trees microclimates and friends so they can live and grow and thrive. And now they're giving me back a thank you in the form of sweet fruit. That's amazing. And it's so much better tasting because I grew it. Right? That is fantastic. It tastes kind of caramelly, kind of like a little bit nutty and caramelly. So caramel and nuts. That's really good. That's amazing. So we have a bunch of date palms here on the property, and this was the first one to fruit. So hopefully in the years to come, we'll have a bunch of dates fruit, and we'll hopefully have thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of dates being produced here in the backyard and the front yard locally, close to home. So date palms, guys, find them. They're the most expensive tree you can get because they're slow growing. People always charge an arm and a leg for them. I usually tell folks, if you can find a female fruiting date palm that's between $50 to $250, somewhere in that range, $50 to $250, that's the best price for a date palm. And hey, joining the conversation right now is Abdullah, and that's my friend Abe. And Abe, if you guys click on his Facebook page right there, hey Abe, say hello to all the gardeners out there. If you guys go to see Abe, Abdullah, he is a wonderful farmer of date palms. And he has a lot of date palm pups to sell. So if you want to get a date palm from Abe, check out Abdullah in there and tell him Jake Mace sent you. And he has some medjool dates and other varieties, I think, for sale now. You can buy the dates or you can buy the date palms from Abe, from Abdullah there. Hey Abe, how's the date life? How's the dates going? I'm gonna say hi to everybody out there. Hi to Angie, hi to everybody watching, to Fabian, to Ali, or to Ali, to Gilbert, to Todd, to Tori, thanks Tori for the love, to Felipe, to Yan, or Jan, to Sijith, and to Marcus Root. What's up, Marcus? Okay, the next tree. This one, I didn't even know what this fruit was when I first began gardening, but it grows very well in the Phoenix area, and it's a guava. Can you guys see the koi pond down there and the koi fish swimming? They're all in there, swimming down in there. You see it? Look at how dense this is now. This used to be just a dirt lot. In 2011, 2012, just a dirt lot, and now it's a food forest, and the ground's alive, and there's fish here, and there's fruit trees, and we're going through like a jungle. Look at this. We're gonna go through this jungle here, past this Royal Poinciana, past the curry. I'm finding that curry tree grows very well here. And this curry put off a ton of berries this year. We have the curry berries. It's really interesting. I got this curry from Seamus O'Leary. Now my hands smell like curry spice. But the next tree that grows very well in the Phoenix area is guava. So I would try to obtain and plant guavas. So these behind me are all the guava trees that were little tiny guys when I first started. And the guavas, I got white guava, pink guava, and they're kind of like a subtropical. So they will stay evergreen. They can take cold temperatures down into the low 20s or high teens, and they take the summer heat very well. When I tell you that it takes summer heat very well, that does not mean you're supposed to plant it in the middle of your yard and blast it with sun. I'd recommend every one of these fruit trees to give it like a shade of 30 to 50% for the first summer. And the guavas also love to have friends planted with them. So like, if you guys see above the guava, there's a big mesquite tree up there. And that mesquite tree is providing wind protection and shade protection for the guavas. Okay, and if we move back here, there's another guava back here. And I harvested about 50 or 60 guava fruits this year off these guys. 50 or 60, there were so many that actually I lost like 20 or 30 because I couldn't get to them fast enough. There were so many. This one over here, I bought really small, and now look at the size of this guava. It's way up there. It's like 12 feet tall. It's really, really big. This tree I bought when Seamus O'Leary and I went on a tree like adventure together. I bought this one called an ice cream bean, and it survived the winter this last year and it's growing really, really well. And then of course we have the papaya trees growing really big up there. I think the papayas are starting to kind of show signs that they're getting too old. They're like 4 years old, but they're just so big. It's amazing. So guava. Guava is the next one I think grows very, very well. And I've been putting a bunch of date palms everywhere. So everywhere in the yard there's date palms. There's like 20 or more date palms here now. Okay, now let's take a little break and talk about, I'm gonna let you guys see all the trees behind me. I hope you guys realize that, like, I wanna show you guys something. With these live videos, check this out. Like, this is Tempe. We are a landlocked city by the airport, by Arizona State University, the largest on-campus university in the country. There is concrete everywhere. There are streets and freeways. Like right now, I can hear a freeway out there, the 60. And if I'll prove it to you. Ready? Just stick with me. Look at how green it is back there right now. Okay, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. We're in a dirt trash alley. Trash alley. Trash can. Everybody's trash. 7-foot tall wall by city code. And then there's the food forest inside there that we've created over the last 6-7 years. So I'm not in some agricultural, like place out in the middle of the boonies. I'm in the city. Like, look at this place behind me. Let's go 10 more seconds. So we're gonna go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back to food forest. It's like a magic trick. So while I'm showing you guys the food forest here, I want to talk about the next tree. It's very important to plant if you want a successful garden. And when I'm talking about fruit trees, it's very important because if you want to have raised bed gardens and in-ground gardens, you need the fruit trees and the native trees to provide shade, wind protection, and microclimate for those gardens. Okay, so gardens are very important, but fruit trees are also very important. And native trees are most important. So let's really quick talk about some of the native trees that are in the Phoenix area I want you guys to plant right now that'll build your food forest. One is mesquite. I just went to the dollar store, not the dollar store, to Goodwill 2 days ago, and I found for $1, I found a mill that I'm going to use to mill up some of these mesquite beans today. I'm going to do a video coming up on it, just a little hand mill that can crank some flour, because mesquite trees put off legumes or pods, mesquite pods, that are very good to grind into flour. So plant mesquite trees, any variety of mesquite tree, doesn't matter. Also plant this one right here, called the shoestring acacia willow. This is a shoestring acacia willow, and the pods, when they are young and underripe, you can pop the green seed out and eat it like a pea, like an edamame. I want you to also plant one of these guys called the creosote. And when a creosote is used medicinally, it's called chaparral. Plant creosote. They found that the oldest living plant on the planet is a collection of creosote bushes in the Mojave Desert. They're like over 10,000 years old. Creosote. And then I want you guys to plant this one called the Palo Blanco. This is the white Palo Verde. So the Palo Blanco, very beautiful. Puts off edible pea pods as well. In addition to that, I want you to plant Palo Verde, because Palo Verde puts off the edible yellow flowers. And Palo Verde also puts off, let me turn you guys this way so you can see, that's still part of the food forest over there. That's my rope climb right there. I do some calisthenics on the rope climb. And the, yes, Tamara, the creosote does smell amazing, because when water hits the creosote leaves, these little leaves right here, when water hits these guys, it releases the oils that smell like the rain. Yeah, it's true. And there's a Palo Verde back there, which has edible yellow flowers, and the pea pods, you pop the pea out and eat them when they're in season. I do a lot of YouTube videos on this. I also want you guys to plant the desert willow. Desert willow puts off leaves and flowers that can be used medicinally to cure like fungal infections, and can be used as an antibiotic. Native Americans used to use it for that. And also some more natives is ironwood. Ironwood has edible flowers and edible pea pods as well. You pop the pea out. So ironwood, Palo Verde, Palo Blanco, shoestring acacia, the desert willow, and the mesquite. Plant all those trees, guys. Those are the natives I want you to plant. If we go back over here, we'll see the next tree I want you to plant, which is called female fruiting mulberry. And this big boy right here, this big one, all of this right here, this big circle right here, that's the mulberry, the female fruiting mulberry right there. If you plant the male one, a lot of cities in the area don't want you to plant the male mulberry. They put it against a lot of city codes, because they don't want a corporation or a company, or they don't want like an apartment complex development to come in and plant like 50 mulberries that are male, because the male ones carry pollen that puts particulates in the air. But the female one hurts no one. The female one doesn't do anything for the air pollution. It only puts off fruit. So plant the female fruiting mulberry, then you get delicious purple mulberries. And the best one I found is called the Pakistan. It's the long, juicy, sweet one. So female fruiting mulberry, if you're in an HOA and they don't want the purple fruit to stain the concrete, then get a white mulberry with the white fruit, and there's no stain. And what I did over here, let me put this camera down here. I have the ability to kind of release this camera, and I'll show you guys something. Over here, my neighbor Jack and her husband, Jeremy, they helped me put in a little bit of a Ninja Warrior course in here. We made these pull-up bars from scratch, and we surrounded the pull-up bars with the desert willow, mesquite, the Arizona elderberry, as well as the what's it called? This one's the Shangri-La mulberry from Seamus O'Leary, and date palms and pecan tree. And now, and moringa. So now what I can do is I can actually do a little bit of workout and calisthenics back here in the yard. And these guys are pretty strong actually. They actually can take a lot of abuse here. So let me show you guys what they can do here. Check it out. One more. Remember when you guys were a kid and you used to just hang around on the monkey bars? Don't forget to find some time to be a kid even when you're an adult and just hang out in the monkey bars, in your food forest. Make gardening fun. This is also really good for blood flow to the brain and my lower back. Reversing all the pinched nerves I have from making this garden and that koi pond with those boulders. So every garden is custom, and mine, I wanted to give it some ability to have like fitness and workout kind of involved with the garden. And that's why I call it longevity gardens, because the goal is to grow food in the backyard that will give you longevity, and also to have fitness stuff in the backyard that keeps you strong and youthful and fit forever. Okay, another tree I recommend is Moringa. If you guys go to jakemace.com right now, you can order Moringa seeds in the gardening store. So go to jakemace.com, click on gardening, and there's a drop down menu happens, go to gardening store. You can order Moringa trees. And all of my protein that I put every morning in my protein smoothies is from these incredible Moringa trees that have all grown from seed. So you can eat the leaves, and it's very protein rich and very nutrient dense. Moringa trees. They can grow to 12 feet or 15 feet tall in 1 year from seed. What is Moringa? Tyra is asking, what is Moringa? Well, go on YouTube right now and type in Jake Mace Moringa. Right now, do it. Open a new window. Keep this window open. Go to a new window and search for Jake Mace Moringa. And I have like 10 or 12 videos all about the Moringa tree on YouTube. And you can order the seeds in a pack of like 25 seeds from jakemace.com at the gardening store. They taste kind of like kale because they're very green and nutrient dense. They have a lot of like chlorophyll and a broad spectrum of vitamins and minerals in them. This tree right here is a Ironwood tree that I planted in 2011 when it was only $7. It was in a 1 gallon pot, and now it's humongous. It's a big ironwood. And this tree I got from Seamus O'Leary a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, called a jabuticaba or jaboticaba, or a jabuticaba or Brazilian grape. I get tons of messages all the time on my Jake Mace Tai Chi Instagram and my Jake Mace Tai Chi Snapchat about people that are in Brazil, and they love that I do videos on the jaboticaba. So this one, look at all the new growth. All the bright green is all new growth since the temperatures dropped last week or this week. Let me show you guys one thing that happened this year. So the first time ever in the garden, I did not cover anything with shade cloth this year for the first time because I didn't really plant anything new this year for the first time. Everything had been 2 years old or something. So I figured, let me not cover anything with shade cloth this summer and see what happens. And as you guys know, we got to 120 this summer. And in my opinion, I don't know about you guys, but I'll talk candidly with you right now. In my opinion, this past August and September was brutal to my garden, because even though we didn't have like 120 degrees temperatures, it was like 109, 109, 110, 111, 109, 108, 110, 111, 109, 110, 109. And when it's like above 105, it's just really hard on anything that's not a native. And so it was really difficult on the trees. So finally, now it's in the upper 90s. And so what's happening is that I didn't cover any of my trees, including the avocados. And the avocados hung in there really nicely throughout the whole summer But then they got punished in August. But now what's happening is that every single branch of the avocado has got its new growth coming through. And so in about a month from now, they'll all be full and amazing again. Like, look at this branch. It got taken out by the heat, but now look at how much new growth is on there. All the new buds of growth are looking really, really good. So I'm gonna come back to you guys with an avocado update in October to show you guys how the Aravaipa avocados are doing after their first summer of no shade. They got tons of mulch on the ground. If you guys wanna see, I'm still doing tons of wood chips and mulch. There's just a forest down here everywhere. That's really important. And here are the koi fish. These are my babies. I rescued all these guys off Craigslist. I had to go to people's houses and save these fish. And I don't have any kids, so these fish, I kind of feel a little bit like taking care of them. Jack, the Jim Bacon, the same thing. It's still alive, doing really well. If you guys want to follow my neighbor Jackie Q right there, Jack Q Davis, she's planting a really amazing garden right in my same neighborhood. And we both have the Jim Bacon avocado. So the Jim Bacon's doing good. It looks the same as the Aravaipa. They look the exact same. Lots of new growth. The old growth got punished. I did 0 shade cloth this summer. 0 shade. So how's your Jim Bacon doing? And these are all the koi out here. They're doing pretty well. Okay, let me feed the koi with you guys right here. We're gonna feed them some koi fish food. You like my haircut, Juan? Thank you very much. No, the koi don't mind the heat. They do pretty well. They actually become really active. They become super active when it's hot, and they actually eat a little more food, and they just become really active. And in the winter time, they slow down and move a lot slower. I know, digging a pond is tough, but it's a great hobby. Get into it. Watch all the YouTube videos you can watch, and take a few classes, and just go out there and do it. It was a 3-year project for me. And last year, this lemon tree only gave 2 lemons. This year it has like 400. So I always find in my yard so far, one of the curious things is that trees like to operate and grow on cycles. If it puts off a ton of fruit one year, the next year is a little bit lighter. So last year was a light year for lemons. This year it's loaded, it's just packed. There's just lemons all over the place. And they're starting to get ripe. I've even got some guava off the Cuban white guava right now. And for the first time, I got sapote to grow. Let me show you guys my front yard here, and then we'll end this live video. So stick with me here, and we'll end together really shortly. This is the hackberry fig. This peach tree always shuts down about this time every year. And I've got this sapote tree that put up lots of sapote fruit this year for the first time. I've already eaten half a dozen off the tree. And these ones are the ones that are still ripening up. They're not quite squishy yet. But there's a lot of sapote here, and they're really delicious. My first time getting ripe sapote. I did a YouTube video about it last month. If you guys go on my Vegan Athlete YouTube channel, you'll see my ripe sapote. And this tree was a little baby, and now it's growing above the fence. So I really recommend planting trees, fruit trees, against the fence or against the house, because they love the protection that the wall or the house give, as long as they don't have invasive roots. And we've got the guava over here, another guava. This is kind of the gate to get into the garden. We kind of go through this gate right here to get into the garden, and then we're in. And let's go check out, what else do we need to see here? Let's see. We're gonna go over here, and we're gonna check out one more thing here, which is the pecan. I think pecans grow very well in the Phoenix area. Oh, also pomegranate and citrus. So the pecan, doing really well. This year it's actually got pecans, so we've actually got, this is a baby pecan we planted, and it's got fruit this year. Look at those pecans. My first pecans of the year. Last year it put off 3 pecans. This year there's like 12. And next year hopefully there'll be like 100. And then the jujubes also do very well over here. We've got the date palm behind me, another date palm. That's a barhi. And these are the jujubes. The jujubes just do so well in Phoenix. I recommend planting jujubes, J-U-J-U-B-E. And also I recommend, next to Leo over here, Leo's coming up, I recommend planting fig. That's a fig tree I planted. That was a branch off my friend's fig tree years ago, and now it's growing pretty well. And Leo's gonna hang out there. Let me flip it. I'll show you guys Leo. 3, 2, 1, flip. And that's Leo. That's the dinosaur. He's the crowd pleaser. He's super cute. Everyone loves him. Jack, let me show you the dragon fruit. Come on over here with me. My dragon fruit's still alive, doing well, but I haven't had any flowers or fruit this year yet. Maybe in the fall, because it usually produces for me about this time, because that's when it kind of starts to exhale from the summer heat. So my dragon fruit is right here, and it's kind of arching over top of this trellis, and that's where Leo lives. The turtle goes in that cave there, and that's where he lives, in that cave. And he goes really deep. Leo is, I want to say he's like 8 years old. And that's all my dragon fruit cactus, doing really well, but it's got like a nice shaded microclimate here, but no flowers yet this summer. But hopefully I'll have a couple this fall, because it looks really healthy and looks good to me. And I pruned it in order to maximize fruit production last spring. Yeah. I started Leo's cave for him. I started digging it, and then we framed it in and put lots of dirt on top, and then he dug the rest. And he goes like 20 feet down and to the right. He goes all over. Roxanne's out there. Hey, Roxanne. Roxanne was given a black fig by the neighbor, and I don't have irrigated water yet. I want to keep it inside in my bright sliding glass door. Do you figs need to lose? Yeah, so figs do lose their leaves in the wintertime. They're deciduous. So it will go dormant inside if it's got that colder temperature, and then they will grow again in like March. So figs do like to lose their leaves. And I have tiger panache fig, black mission fig. I have let's see here, a Diana fig, and I have green honey fig and brown turkey fig. Those are the ones that I have. What's happening, Veronica? What's happening, everybody? Let's see. Thanks, Jack. Your yard looks great too. I've been following you on Instagram. Looks great. Will you show Leo's cave at the tour? Sure, yeah. This weekend, the tour, go above and click on the link to join my tour. It's at the link above, and yeah, I will for sure show Leo's cave. Let's see here. We're gonna go and finish in the front yard here if you guys want to see the front. Look, I came here today and a pomegranate was laying on the ground. So I'm gonna bring this home and see if it's ripe. Because usually pomegranates don't ripen up until next month or the month after when the citrus gets ripe, but maybe since this pomegranate dropped on its own, it might be ready. I have a feeling that Leo, the tortoise, bumped it with his shell and knocked it off. Leo is cute and amazing, but he's also a little bastard because he eats everything and destroys everything in his path. But there's some more pomegranates here. This is a angel red pomegranate tree, and there's some more pomegranates growing on the tree, like this guy, that beauty right there. And there's some smaller ones down here, and there's a bunch up in the tree. I did a severe pruning on this one last year to try to thin out the different trunks, and he came back and fruited pretty well. So we're gonna get a nice little crop of pomegranate here, but let's go in the front and we'll check it out. Wow. Come with me and you'll be in a world of my forest imagination. Take a look and you'll see it is my imagination. There is no place I know that compares with my backyard garden food forest imagination. Let's go. Okay, so we're in the front yard now, and as you guys can see, just typical city. But what I've done is, everybody else has got the typical rock landscaping, and I got the food forest that starts right here. And those are all citrus trees that I planted from Greg Peterson's urbanfruittrees.org program. And they're now big and got lots of fruit on them. Got lots of tangerines this year ready to get ripe over the next month or so. Lots of tangerines. And the front yard here, you can see how when I walk out, that's what the front yard looks like, full of the moringa and the Java plum, and it's also full of the native bushes and date palms and citrus and jujube. And that's it. I want to end this little sneak peek preview right here and say I love you guys. Thanks for joining my live feed. Go to all the links above and join my tour this weekend, RSVP. I love getting the word out about gardening and helping all the local gardeners, whether they're into trees or plants or building raised beds or consultation. I love helping everybody. So I just want to increase the buzz about gardening, growing your own food here in the Phoenix area. So come on out and meet me and do my tour Saturday, Sunday from 8 to 10 in the morning. And all the links are above. And join Seed Bank Box. You guys are missing out. The seed varieties are changing every month and they're amazing. And you'll love to plant them in your garden. I love you guys. To all my gardeners and tree people out there, I'll see you soon. Go vegan. Grow your food at home. I love you all, and I'll get in the comments right now. I'll answer all your questions. So comment down below right now. I'll answer them when I get home to the laptop. And I'll see you guys back here next time, or on YouTube, or on my Instagram. Later.